breaking news. The first death from coronavirus here in the United States. A man in his 50s died from COVID-19 infection in Washington state. Authorities describe him as an at-risk patient, but say he had no apparent travel to China. It is one of several new cases there. The governor declaring a state of emergency. President Trump and his team confirming the fatality at a news conference this afternoon and warning Americans not to panic, while also announcing new travel restrictions and advisories, including in parts of Italy and South Korea. The president also defending his administration's response, but less than an hour later before a conservative audience accusing Democrats of trying to weaponize the virus politically. But the number of coronavirus cases at home and abroad continue to climb. The financial markets rocked, and more aggressive steps to fight the spread are just now beginning. ABC's Adrian Bangert leads our coverage from the hospital where that patient died in Kirkland, Washington.
Tonight, the governor of Washington declaring a state of emergency after the first known coronavirus death in the U.S.
We are having increasing cases in the United States, and we expect to see increasing cases locally.
The CDC says a man in his 50s with underlying health conditions has died, and he had no known travel to China. The state also confirms an outbreak at a long-term care facility, 2 people associated with the facility testing positive, and more than 50 patients and staff now being tested.
We're in the process of investigating this situation as an outbreak.
One of those cases is a woman in her 70s in serious condition. President Trump gave a late afternoon press conference before the CDC confirmed the death.
Unfortunately, one person passed away overnight, medically high-risk patient.
The president and his team attempting to calm the nation's fears.
There's no reason to panic at all. This is something that is being handled professionally.
The country as a whole, because we get asked that all the time, still remains at low risk. But when we say that, we want to underscore that this is an evolving situation.
This brings the total number of Americans diagnosed with COVID-19 to at least 69. The CDC investigating at least 8 cases of unknown origin, which means the patients did not travel outside the country, nor did they have contact with symptomatic individuals. At least 3 states, Washington, Oregon, and California, are now seeing cases of community spread. A high school student in Washington among those cases, and possibly the youngest, now in quarantine. The student developed symptoms last week, but returned to school after feeling better, unknowingly putting dozens, if not hundreds more at risk.
We elected to close it in an abundance of caution and care for children and adults in our schools and community.
And in Oregon, an elementary school employee showing symptoms in Clackamas County who may have exposed students and staff. Authorities disinfecting campuses, warning parents to be on alert.
All right, Adrian Bangert joins us now from that hospital in Kirkland, Washington. This is in the Seattle area where the first U.S. patient has died of coronavirus. Adrian, your reporting highlights the developing situation in that state. The governor has declared a state of emergency. Is the federal government sending in additional resources?
Yes, Tom, the CDC is going to be sending staffers here to Washington state to assist both state and local officials dealing with this outbreak. Now, we want to remind our viewers, health officials stress that 80% of coronavirus cases are deemed mild, and that those with existing underlying health conditions, especially respiratory problems, are most at risk. Tom?
All right, Adrian, thanks. Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for...
All right. Alam, Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah, Wakabah, Wahadar, all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah, Ba'ashem, Akadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Shalom, Wabarakim, Ha'aman, Bakiyar, which is to say peace and blessings to the faithful elect of Yasha Allah only. And it's your brother Shariyat coming back. The water Abba for giving me the Rakat Akodash to be able to come back with a lesson on hopefully something that can be edification, ammunition, reproof, exhortation, defending or preaching the gospel of prophecy. And this lesson is only out to you so-called Negroes, Native American Indians, and Latinos, because you are the biblical Israelites. You will be an Israelite if your father is one of these so-called ethnicities, Negro, Latino, or his Native American, right? According to truth and fact, period. All right. Now, with that being said, as you can see, it's a bunch of things I'm gonna just go ahead and get into. real quick.
Describe him as an at-risk patient infection in Washington state. Authorities describe him as an at-risk patient, but say he had no apparent travel to China. It is one of several new cases there. The governor declaring a state of emergency. President Trump and his team.
Now, real quick, with that, we're going to go ahead and get this in Second Ezra. They saying that they don't understand how pretty much how this virus was able to kill this patient, let alone get to him. And he never traveled to where it originated from. But little do you know, it never originated there in the first place. You know, this is just prophecy. The Father said he was going to bring forth this prophecy. Okay, and Satan is mad. Really quick. It's going to cover everything with scripture. We will get out of here. No thanks. All right, Second Ezra. I believe it's the 16th chapter. I can get that, but I'm not gonna get that. To consume the earth. Okay, yeah. I'm gonna get 16, Second Ezra 16 and 14. It says, "Woe be unto Babylon, Asia, woe be unto thee, Egypt and Syria." This place is spiritual Egypt and spiritual Babylon all over again. It says, verse 14. "Behold, the plagues are sent and shall not return again until they come upon the earth." So it wasn't just sent to these are plagues as being famine, pestilence, and sword. Behold, verse 19. Behold, it says, matter of fact, we start at 18. It says, "The beginning of sorrows and great mournings." This lines right up with Matthew the 14th chapter, Luke the 9th chapter, the prophecy that Yahushua brought, right? The beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the power shall stand in fear. They don't know what's going on, and that's why Esau wants to try to act proud, but he's standing in fear, talking about there's no reason to panic. It says the beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils come? He thinks he can vaccine his way out of this one, but you can't. Verse 19, "Behold, famine and plague and tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment." It says, "But for all these things they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be mindful, nor be always mindful of the scourges." See? And like I said, with verse 15, it wasn't just sent to it's the plague, this so-called COVID, however they pronouncing it, this coronavirus wasn't just, it doesn't matter that it was sent, just originated so-called in supposedly in China, Wuhan. This is a of prophecy that was sent upon the earth from the Father, not just one place, the earth. Not just an organization being a world, right, or a community, you know what I'm saying? But the earth, the entire planet, right? And there is a reason to panic because the Father just said, "Behold, famine and plague and tribulation and anguishes are sent as scourges for amendment. But for all these things they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges." And the last person, Jake, needs to hear this from is the so-called white man telling him everything gonna be fine, right? And then they also said that, you know, the stock market is basically crashing. Verse 21, behold, victuals shall be so good. Salakia. 2nd Ezra 16 and 21. Behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon the earth that they shall think themselves to be in good case. Right? A lot of people think this is a good time to invest. Which you can say it is because we don't know how much time we got. But he told us measure us the time diligently. You know, Yahushua told us to watch in Revelation the 3rd chapter. You know what I'm saying? And even then shall evils grow upon the earth. Sword, famine, and great confusion. People not gonna be able to tell if this place is coming or going. You know what I'm saying? Especially where you got a goddamn you know, you got the so-called president of a place telling people not to, you know,